Hey everybody, I'm Alan with Bricks and Blocks Gaming, and in this wizard build video for the game of Frostgrave, I'll be creating an enchanter that's focused on creating constructs. For this build, I'll be using the new rules found in the Fireheart supplement, which makes some changes to the Animate Construct spell and allows modifications to be added to these animated machines. This video does assume some familiarity with that book, so to learn more about it, you can check out my overview video of the Fireheart supplement by clicking here. But in this video, I'll show you the Enchanter's spell list, discuss their main spells and strategy, discuss how their other spells fit in, recommend some soldiers to hire for this wizard, and give my thoughts about using this build in a campaign. So let's get to the bricks and blocks of this Enchanter build for Frostgrave. For their spells, from their primary school, I've selected Animate Construct, Strength, and Telekinesis. From the aligned schools, I've selected Brew Potion, Leap, and Write Scroll. And from the neutral schools, I've selected Elemental Bolt and Reveal Secret. The main idea for this wizard build is to create a warband that's filled with constructs. And to help them with this, they have 4 out-of-game spells, with Animate Construct obviously being the most important spell for this strategy. It has a casting number of 10, but becomes more difficult if stronger constructs are being created. Small constructs aren't usually worth it, so this should be used to add medium and large constructs. Also, the Fireheart supplement adds new rules for modifying constructs, and this requires the warband to obtain specific parts, either through finding them in the scenarios found in the Fireheart supplement, or by purchasing them. These parts can be used when a construct is first animated by applying a -2 penalty to the casting rule, or can be added to an existing construct by using the spellcaster's Animate Construct rule, with no penalties, not even for a construct size. However, adding a modification also causes a stat penalty to the soldier. Also, this spell can now be used to repair and reanimate fallen constructs, and to repair permanent injuries the spellcaster might suffer, by creating some prosthetic body parts. From one of their aligned schools, Write Scroll casts on a 14. This spell should be used to create scrolls of Animate Construct to speed up the creation process. The great thing about using scrolls for this is that they can be used to create any size of construct, meaning this is the way to go for creating large versions. However, there are some limitations to using Animate Construct with a scroll. While it can be used to create new constructs and add modifications to existing constructs, it can't do both at the same time like just casting Animate Construct can. Also, the repairing and reanimating functions can't be used through a scroll either. Since finding the items needed to add a modification to a construct is limited to the scenarios found in the Fireheart supplement, but can be purchased from the black market by swapping up to 2 normal black market rolls for the same number of rolls on the construct parts table to see what's available, having extra income is necessary. So this wizard build has the neutral Reveal Secret, casting on a difficult 16, but when successful, can help to improve the value of treasures that are found. And the aligned Brew Potion, casting on a 14, can be abused by brewing potions of preservation that sell for 200 gold crowns. But if players feel that's overpowered, they can brew something else that only sells for 100 gold crowns. I'll point out that Construct Oil is a potion found in the 2nd edition book that can be brewed. However, if players are using the Fireheart rules, this potion now counts as a modification, so it requires an Animate Construct roll to apply it. It fills the single modification slot for the construct, and causes the -1 stat penalty. Since constructs can't be wounded, they can be very effective fighters or serve as walls to slow down the enemy. So they've got the in-school Strength spell, casting on a 10, which is here to be used early and as needed to power up the constructs that will be doing most of the fighting. And since these animated soldiers are slower than living soldiers, especially large constructs with only 4 movement. The aligned leap, casting also on a 10, can be extremely helpful to get teammates into position. Once the enemies are tied up fighting constructs, the spellcasters can use telekinesis, another spell casting on a 10, to start moving treasure tokens away from the enemy and behind their own lines to more easily pick them up. And lastly, they have Elemental Bolt, casting on a high 16. Since constructs don't normally have access to shooting attacks, this spell is here mostly for intimidation purposes to scare the enemy into cover and provide some magic damage in a pinch. With the 300 gold crowns available after hiring their apprentice, this starting enchanter should hire a treasure hunter, whose speed will offset the slow constructs, a ranger, who's also fast and can provide some shooting support, an infantryman, and a new tinkerer. Stat-wise, these standard soldiers are similar to thugs, but give a +1 bonus to all Animate Construct spells that are cast by the wizard, but unfortunately not the apprentice. Then, 3 thugs and a fast thief should fill out the starting team. As the campaign progresses, the lineup should hopefully start filling up with constructs, ideally having 2 large constructs to fill the other specialist slots, next to the treasure hunter and ranger, 3 medium constructs, and when money is abundant enough to start making purchases for construct parts, trading out the tinkerer for a new scrounger is recommended. Their stats are decent for a standard soldier, and while they're in a warband, the wizard can make an additional black market roll from the construct modification table each game, and a 20% discount is given to all purchases from that table. And if the right things aren't showing up in the black market, 400 gold crowns can be spent to add a kennel to the wizard's base, and then a new construct hound can be purchased in place of a regular warhound. While these mechanical dogs only have a move of 7, they have better health and will than their living versions, and can't be wounded, which is nice because it's really easy to wound or kill a regular warhound in Frostgrave. For spellcaster progression, I'd recommend using levels to improve the Animate Construct spell early in a campaign until the desired number of constructs are in the warband. And then the focus should shift to strength and leap to keep with the theme of powerful constructs moving into combat. And the health stat should be prioritized to help make sure the in-game spells are successful. Before jumping into this wizard build, a player should really consider whether going the construct route is worth it. From a game mechanics and power gamer perspective, there's a question of whether constructs are better than living soldiers. The machines are slower, but can't be wounded. However, modifying one of them requires finding or purchasing parts, succeeding on Animate Construct rolls, and the upgrades cause resulting stat penalties as well. And from a complexity perspective, there's added bookkeeping with tracking modifications and penalties, but not too much more than just dishing out magic items to normal soldiers. I think if a player really likes the idea of fielding a warband of constructs, this is a strong build for this purpose that should function well in a campaign. I'm curious to know your thoughts about constructs, so leave a comment below. And be sure to check out my overview video of the Fireheart supplement and my other Frostgrave videos as well. I'm Alan with Bricks and Blocks Gaming. Thanks for watching and play well.